Character design is provided by Demon Arty. Be sure to check her out over on her social media platforms. Links to her Twitter and Instagram are going to be in the description down below. Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sen.
15 PCA.
Native 454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. Loki episode 5, Into the Mystery? Is that what it was called?
I don't remember.
You guys are idiots. I just told you. What was it? It is called Journey into Mystery. Journey into Mystery. It's funny because when it comes to the episode titles, I never really say it in the episode. Yeah. But this is a pretty cool episode. I like all the different Lokis and all the different variants and everything. Again, I don't like the idea of you falling in love with yourself because that's like wanting to be with your twin sister. You literally have the same DNA.
Yeah, it's creepy.
It's super creepy. Gross and it's nasty and I don't like it at all.
Almost like you almost wish that she wasn't a variant of Loki.
And she's actually someone else.
Or it would have been, or a funny little twist at the end, you find out like she's like a Thor variant.
Yeah, would that be something?
Which would still be gross because it's still your brother, but...
It's so nasty. I don't know why people like that and it's just like... Blah, blah. But a lot of cool things happen. I don't trust that judge lady.
No.
Because she's kind of back and forth, but then you go like, oh, maybe she does want to know whatever. Maybe she doesn't know what's going on. She's only been doing it for so long, she has nothing else.
Yeah, we don't know what, is it just curiosity that she wants to see the end, or does she want to do something sinister?
Ooh, so curious.
Yeah. Because I remember she always makes a big deal about it too. I always talk to the timekeepers, but it's like, so you've been lying this whole time.
You've been talking to robots.
Yeah.
The Rubits.
The Rubits.
The Rubits.
So,
the Chobits. So
she's just, no, not Chobits. No, not that. Not old 90s animes that no one remembers but you.
No.
But, so I think her whole world's falling apart. So she kind of wants to find some type of thing too. But she's not going to trust.
But to what end?
Yeah, exactly.
What's her end game?
Yeah, exactly. Are you just going to ask like, oh, why am I here? Or is it going to be more like, I'm going to take over?
Or does she already knows and doesn't want everyone else to find out?
Yeah, that there's like maybe nothing.
But something has to be there.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. We're getting into all that.
Yeah, so weird. But we open up and of course it is this weird like going into the TVA, cameras like spinning around.
That was the worst part of the episode.
Always gives me a headache. That kind of camera work always gives me a headache. So they show that, then it goes into the mist, and then we're like in some type of, looks like an abandoned city. This is like the void area, like limbo basically. And so there's a bunch of destroyed buildings, and it looks like the apocalypse. Then we see what looks like a giant monster cloud thing.
Yeah,
like a lion, tiger,
demon thing that's like just in
the sky,
and it's like big and it roars. Like, I guess that must be the thing that
eats time.
Yeah,
I thought it was kind of like the Langoliers. Like it's the thing that just devours time.
Yeah, that's Stephen King book. It's pretty good.
But this one is in the future and that one was in the past.
Yeah.
So like you can never travel to the past because it's dead and gone. And then there's like these monsters eat the past.
Yeah.
So the timeline's always moving. So I thought it was that, but now it's kind of reverse.
Yeah.
But so we're like, okay, that's odd. We get the opener and then we have. Remember, we left off with Sylvie and Judge. What's her name? Redfield or something?
Judge.
I forgot it. Yeah, I think something.
I always call her the judge.
The judge lady. And she's like, okay, tell me everything. Oh, I'm just in the dark as much as you are. I don't believe, like, this whole opening scene, I'm like, she's lying about everything.
Yeah, man, talk about being a Loki. This lady's a fucking Loki all the way.
She's just lying about everything. But, so Sylvie's like, got a staff in her face. What's going on? I want to know what's happening. Since, there's no timekeepers. They're just these robots. Who created them?
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, I don't know. She's like, oh, you know more than you're telling me. But we still don't know why. What was her Nexus event?
No one knows.
Because we learned all the other Lokis, their Nexus events, the things that they did. But what did Sylvie do? She was playing with toys in her room, and then they went and got her.
Yeah, something simple as that.
It's as simple as it can't be the toys, because people have thought of that theory, and I'm like, that would be straight up, like, silly.
But at the same time, they've gotten regular humans in there that did.
But they were using them though for like agents though, so that maybe that was their purpose.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We don't
Who knows?
But I don't know. Or some people speculate that it's just because she's female and it kind of threw everything off.
Maybe.
And
but then why get her as a baby? You would have went back then.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But so basically, she ends up telling like, kind of like, oh, I want to know too. We can like work together, and I'm like, this lady's lying. Like everything she says is a freaking lie.
And then she tells them, "Oh, Loki's still alive."
What if I told you Loki's not dead? Well, I'd say you're lying, but what if I'm not?
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, like I say,
that kind of thing. Like,
what kind of manipulator are you? Like, this is weird.
And then Loki knows when you're BSing. You know, Loki's gonna be like, "Yeah, okay, sure."
So we get back to that, void area, and remember how it ended with him meeting those other Lokis. So they're like, "Come on, we have to keep running," and we see like a pirate ship. I'm sure every single thing in this place is a reference to something.
Something from Marvel.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe even some Disney references for all we know.
I guess it's Jack Sparrow. Yeah. But they're running, and then our Loki's like, "Wait a minute, everyone stop. I need to know what the hell's going on." It's like, we just have to survive. What do we do this? Like, we survive. Yeah. That's all we have to do here.
There's a thing that eats us. We got to keep moving.
And he's like, "Well, what do you think? You're not going to be able to fight it. And you're not going to do any of those kinds of things." But, we kind of meet their they all have the same personality, but in different ways.
Yeah.
It's so funny because he's arguing with himself. And it's one of those things like, don't you think we tried all these things? Don't you think we tried to come up with a plan? You think you're the only smart Loki that tried to do something about this?
Yeah.
But like, he's like, what's going on? And then there's like the little alligator Loki. He's like, what's that thing? He's a Loki too. He's like, what is that? What doesn't even make any sense?
He's like trying to question it, but he's like, I have bigger problems to worry about, but yeah.
An alligator Loki.
Yeah. I guess there is a Marvel world where everyone's an animal.
Yeah.
So that's like, I guess in that version, he's an alligator. Okay, well, you think he'd be a snake, but whatever.
Right, yeah.
But then they start talking and they start, kind of explaining themselves a little bit. I love Old Man Loki. He's classic.
He's the coolest one out of all of them.
He is the classic right out of the comic books from like 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Classic.
The big yellow, he looks like a damn jester, but that's what he looked like originally.
Yeah.
The big skinny horns.
But why would he not be? He's the trickster, so it makes sense.
But so this other Loki, is that like a Thor hammer, or is that like a knockoff?
I think it's a knockoff. I think people dub that one as boastful Loki, so he's like more like more like Thor almost.
Yeah, where he's like telling his grand stories and everything.
Yeah.
But it's super funny because Loki wants explanations. The other Lokis know that he wants explanations because they wanted explanations when they first got there. So like, just skip to the end. We just have to survive. Yeah. Nothing else matters. But I didn't know where this was going. Like, well, because if they team up, they can work together. But why would Lokis work together?
Yeah,
that's the problem.
And right now, what we know from our Loki is that he's changing. But did they have the same experience? Probably not. So we don't know that. Yeah.
So they get to like their fallout shelter. Like it's like a bunker.
Yeah, bowling alley.
Yeah, it looked like an old bowling alley.
Yeah.
And they get down there, and I guess this is where they hide from the monster.
Yeah. And believe me, this base does look like something out of Fallout, like post-apocalyptic kind of like wasteland.
So like they have like their little thrones, but they look like Halloween. It was like Christmas decorations.
Candy canes on the throne.
He's like, what's going on?
And I love the fact that El Hannah had like thrones. Like
we were all kings in our way,
Yeah.
They finally get to be like their kingly selves in their wastelands of nothingness.
That's so funny.
Get back to Sylvie, and we get little Miss Minutes or whatever.
I like this character.
She's like, I want all the information on the beginning of time, the TVA. Then he's like, oh, gotta get the files. She has a little sweet little
That's
accent.
A lot of files.
Then she's like, no, what about the end of time? What's there? Because when you get pruned, you're not killed. You're just sent to the end of time.
Yeah.
And that's where, the way she was kind of explaining it is, that's where all timelines crash into each other, and that's when everything just gets dissolved and destroyed.
Yeah, and there's not going to be any Nexus event because it's
everything is destroyed.
Yeah, it's the end of time. There's nothing you can't do. How can you prune out something that's already at the end?
And then what's weird is when they show the timeline, there's nothing after the end of time.
No.
But it's like this weird kind of like...
There's a void, there's a wall, basically.
Yeah.
But then Sylvie's like, what if we get past the void? What if, because then at that point, it's pure chaos. There's no predetermined anything because you're past you ran past the guy knitting the sweater. You're off the sweater.
Exactly.
You're off the grid now. So at that point,
and that's
they're not going to be, what can you get total chaos because there's nothing.
But isn't that what
variable?
Well, and also I think that's what she's getting at because like you said, the sweater idea, well then now you're seeing the guy
the knitter.
It. So that's what she wants. Yeah. She wants to see that.
But then she's like, well, how do we get past it? So there's no way of getting past it. Then like Miss Minutes is like, what about there's some
time machine to get past that.
There's some void vehicle.
And the judge's looking at her like,
She's like, oh yeah, that thing. And like, everyone's lying.
Yeah.
All you mother effers are lying.
And Miz, I'm looking. And she's just kind of like,
and I'm
biding
like,
time.
She's buying time. Yeah, she's stalling.
Oh yeah, and once we get it, it's experimental. Yeah, that's the ticket. It's like, it's like you're just making it up.
I just love it when it just has that look like, oh yeah, okay, you're even lying to me.
I just like how the files are like on a Rolodex type thing.
It just looks like something you would think as high tech but low tech looking. I love that.
If in the 1940s you thought high tech was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was just biding time for some more soldiers to get in there.
Yeah, TVA people, yeah.
They kind of corner, she jumps behind the thing, and then there's like, oh, it's funny because this whole time she was telling, the judge lady was telling Sylvie, oh, let's figure this out together, we can work together. Then she kind of says it again. She's like, yeah, as soon as I jump out there, you're going to just kill me.
Yeah, for a minute there, I almost believed you with this time thing, but you kind of lied to me here.
But does she? I don't know.
Again, like I said, I can see it both ways. One, I could just see her being like, I just want to understand what I'm doing. But then also, it could also be like, I hate you guys because I had to do all this stuff and...
You may be believing something that wasn't real.
There's so many liars.
I think I was tricked.
But then Sylvie pops up and she just prunes herself.
Yeah.
They're like, holy crap.
Oh, that took care of that. Oh, so what? Because before that, she goes, I'll take you to a time loop. It'll be a nice memory for you.
Yeah, she wanted to take
Forget
you to a time prison, and then we'll give you a good memory. And then she's like, oh, if you have one. And then she's like,
just one.
Yeah.
That's so mean. And that was against the time she spent with Loki.
Yeah.
When she wanted to bang herself. I hate it
much.
I don't want to think that, but you're probably right.
I know. There's more scenes that like say yes to that idea, which is kind of like...
No one ever turned me on but myself. So gross. You guys are nasty. If you think that's okay, you nasty. Stay away from me.
The Red Shoe Diaries version of Loki coming up. What is this?
If you're okay with this, there's a little kink in you.
Things get really kinky at the end of time.
Yeah, exactly.
So then we get
Triple
back.
X.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so gross. We get back to the Lokis and like telling their stories. Oh, when I defeated Captain America and Iron Man, I received my prize, the all 6 Infinity Stones.
An alligator says something, and we're saying that you you're a liar.
Yeah, we're just BSing. And then the guys are like, and then even Arlo's like, no, you didn't. He's like, you did not kill, because he's like, you didn't kill nobody.
Because he's like, even thinking, like, because he fought the Avengers. He's like, there's no way you took Captain America and Iron Man out, like, at the same time.
Yeah.
But it's, and then like, oh, they're all telling their little stories. And then before, I guess the little kid Loki said he killed Thor.
He killed Thor,
That was his Nexus event.
Yeah.
So I guess he might have killed them when they were kids.
Yeah, it could have been even as like an aggressive, like Loki gets mad, he does something thinking he didn't hurt Thor, but he actually killed him.
But we were talking about what Crimson was saying was that maybe it was a moment when he turned to a snake.
Yeah, remember that story Thor was telling about his brother? And he's like, oh, he knows I like snakes. So when I picked it up, he turned to himself and he tried to stab me. What if he actually stabbed him and killed him?
Yeah, like got him in the throat.
Or bit him or something.
Or even used a snake venom or something.
Yeah.
So that's probably his Nexus, like that little story, because it does make sense. It's kind of funny if that's what Thor was talking about. Then they're like, yeah, old man Thor, tell us your story. Oh, then our Loki's like, yeah, I want to know what happened with you, because he's like, we're all supposed to, before I even get as old as you are, Thanos is supposed to kill us.
Yeah, and then like it's funny because he probably has never seen like them past that point.
Yeah, because he dies every time he's supposed to die to Thanos. And he's like, so what did you do? Did you try to stab him? He's like, oh no, I'm going to try to stab him. He goes, well, magic is so much more powerful than weapons. It just distracts you. He goes, yeah, daggers are nice and all. Yeah, they're really nice when they hit the ground when you're gasping for your last breath and you snap your neck.
Yeah, this guy's just pure magic. That's what this guy
because other Loki's like, yeah, but they're so awesome. Yeah, they're so great when they're freaking useless.
He's like, when he went to kill me, I made a self-projection so believable, even the Mad Titan believed it. Even Thanos thought he killed me.
When he killed that clone, he must have been so good that he felt like...
the bones and everything. He cracked them. And he goes, I just pretended to be a piece of space debris, and I floated in outer space for a while. Thought about everything. Thought about the world. He's like, you know what? I'm going to get away from Thor. Everything. Landed on some planet. He goes, and I just lived there.
Well, and
for Loki to get this old...
Yeah.
How long was he there?
A long time. And also, what's kind of sad, too, is they kind of realize, like, a lot of bad stuff happens...
because of me.
To me, which I feel bad because he probably thinks about, like, his home, Thor, like, all these problems I caused for them because I'm just...
Yep, my existence. It goes, death follows us. Destruction. Nothing good comes from us being around. So I went to a planet to be by myself.
And Loki just has a look on his face like, yeah.
But TVA didn't come for you? He's like, no one ever came for me. He goes, but what happened? He goes, I got lonely. I wanted to see my brother. He goes, as soon as I got ready to go home. As soon as I got ready to leave the planet, TVA showed up.
Because he was supposed to stay there.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. He was
forever to live on a planet?
With nothing?
Forever. And like you said, the only reason he wanted to see family and home. Be home again.
To see his brother.
Yeah.
Wanting to see his brother is what caused them to have all this pain. F the TVA.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
It was like, we can't change. And every time we attempt to change, we get brought here.
Yeah, and then when the weird part is, how much of an event would that change? That would be a Loki for the better.
But wouldn't
that be better?
I don't know.
But the funny thing is, like he said, we're all supposed to play the role and we're supposed to die on Thanos' hands. That's it. That's our role. That's it.
To make all the heroes come together to beat us, to make them better than us, for us to die.
I forgot what he said. Yeah, we're the god of misery, I think is what he said.
The misfits.
Yeah,
misfits. That's all we are. We're just this. We don't belong with anyone else. Then they'll like drink their drinks or whatever. And our Loki's like, this sucks. I don't want this. It's like, you know what? I'm getting out of here. And they're like, what are you going to do? I guess that monster had a name.
Yeah, something.
I forgot the name of it. But he's like, I'm going to go kill it. And he's like, yeah, because that's what's stopping us. We get rid of that thing, and then, then the possibilities are endless. We don't have to be the one that dies.
Yeah.
We can do something about it. Then he's like trying to do the rah-rah, and then they're all like, boo-hoo-hoo-hoo, and they all laugh at him.
I love it because it's like the one time one Loki's trying to be like a hero. And
Captain America.
Yeah, trying to rally the troops, and everyone's like, oh, this is stupid.
He's like, screw you guys, I'm going home. So he climbs up, opens up the freaking manhole thing, and then there's a bunch of other Lokis.
There's actually a Loki that just likes him, too. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, the one that ran for president.
Yeah, president. That's funny.
Then he's like, oh, damn. So I guess those Lokis are just the other marauder Loki. How many Lokis are in this freaking place?
Yeah. I would say there's like a good maybe 21.
21,
at least
30,
in this scene.
40.
That we haven't seen.
Yeah.
So what the F? But we get to Sylvie. She landed here in this Nexus area. The end of time.
End of time.
How big is this place?
It's probably huge. It probably goes on forever.
Probably as big as a continent, I'm assuming.
But they all landed near each other.
Well, because that's where the thing's at.
That's where it's feeding.
Yeah.
So it sends you to where that thing is. I don't know. Like I'm trying to think. This thing could just be as big as a city, or it can literally be a world.
And what also doesn't make any sense? Like I know it eats and feeds when it wants to, but why wouldn't they make something that just instantly takes?
Because you can't destroy matter.
So and that thing is the only thing that can do that. It has to eat you. Like physically,
like it can't. It has to kill you.
Yeah.
But why not just chop their heads off?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but I guess to make it seem like, oh, we're pruning the timelines, and they're really not. Because I don't even think when they do that, because they say when they reset the timelines, they're not resetting the timelines; they're like destroying.
And then you can find out even regular people can appear, which is screwed up.
Yeah.
We have no chance against that.
Yeah,
thing.
Remember when like that guy was in the first episode and he was like yelling and they
didn't
appear.
Yeah, and then probably got killed. They didn't even know what the hell was going on.
Exactly.
Just a time traveler.
Think about it. There's like if there's Lokis around, that means there's other powerful people. They said there was Titans. They dealt with vampires. Like
Yeah, I know.
Weird. So
Yeah.
where were they?
And there were so many there's so many Easter eggs in this episode, background stuff.
So Sylvie's like in a bus or something, and she breaks out of it, but then that monster's like right on her butt. So she's running away from it. Then we get a weird vision of things.
Yeah,
like stuff. I'm like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, I was like, huh?
But she's running. She sees like a car, and it's like a pizza delivery car.
It should have been Pizza Planet.
Because I know Disney owns it, but it's like a little like pizza car, and she just jumps in it, and it's her boy. It's Mr. Mobius.
Yes.
He's like, you shouldn't just jump into strangers' cars.
Yeah, we're not in that kind of situation here.
But they're like they're just driving away from this damn thing. So it's like, so how lucky are we? If this thing's the size of a continent, Mobius, Sylvie, Loki, all within, a couple miles of each other?
Because that's where the entities are. I think it's like a sinkhole where they all just go in one area.
And like you said, maybe it is small. Maybe that's why, but then again, wouldn't the cities be on top of cities?
I don't know. See, that's weird. I don't know.
Unless the entity eats, ate those.
Yeah, ate it all. Yeah, that's true.
So we get to all the other Lokis, and all these people, we got the main Loki who looks like, Tom Hiddleston. But all these other people are Lokis too, right?
Yeah, all of them.
So they're like, oh, we got you now. So they're having a little game war. Our Loki's completely out of it. Like, I don't even know what the hell any of this is about.
It's almost like embarrassing for him.
But I guess the big Loki, the bald one, he sold them out.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you're going to make me king or whatever. And then like, oh, making a deal with us. And it's like, you can't make a deal with the Loki.
Yeah.
But with each other.
Even like...
And then even the main regular is like, I know where this is going to lead to. He's just looking at this like, guys,
I'm going to be king. And he just looks down like, no one's going to be king because you're going to end up killing everyone.
I say this little space pinball machine, that's the Fantastic Four space probe thingy.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
Because it looks kind of odd. And they focus on it a lot. It's there in the background, like shining. Oh yeah, that's a Fantastic Four. That's my one thing. But then even the alligator Loki's like, and he's like, what the hell's that thing? Oh, he's saying that you better back off or whatever. He's like, what's that? Then it like attacks him and then bites his damn hand off.
He's like, oh wow.
Then just a big old brawl.
Everyone's
fighting each other and hitting each other. And our Loki's just like, he
just
want to just kind of walk away. He's like, I'm not even going to throw a punch. No. I don't know, fight him. What's going on here? But everyone's just fighting and everything. And then like the old man Loki's like using spells.
And he transports
so good.
them. Oh, he's so powerful.
Then he makes a bunch of illusions of them to go fight. And then he's like, let's get the hell out of here. Makes a portal. So it's old man Loki, little kid Loki, our Loki, and Croaky. The alligator Loki.
But yeah,
Loki.
A little taste of his power. I'm like, man, he made illusions so good that even other Lokis didn't know they were fake.
Yeah.
So they got out of there. Someone's going, I guess the big one, the brute, I guess he's the one, he's in there, and I don't know whatever happened to them. Got killed or whatever. So they're like, well, let's keep walking. And our Loki's like, well, we can do something about this, guys. We can make something more of ourselves, because he even talked to them about he goes, have you ever seen a female version of us? Like, oh God, no. That just sounds awful.
That sounds awful. That'd be terrifying. I don't know about that.
There's like, then there's a little bit of the like, oh, she's wonderful. I'm not different. She's the one that's different.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies rock, men suck. Okay.
Yeah. But in the context, I mean,
but you're telling me the thousands of Lokis couldn't get done what the one woman Loki could do?
Well, maybe she focused on the one power they don't have.
Yeah, I know, but it's like,
maybe
I get the little bit of that, but
it's still a little. But I think the best one's this old man Loki. I'm sorry,
he's my favorite.
Yeah,
he's cool.
Well, just out of magic prowess, like this Loki just beats them all. Like at least magic wise.
Yeah.
So then they're like, well, we got to find her, and then once we get her, we can fight this and we can beat the monster. And they're just like, it's a plan, but like,
we'll take you to it, but we're not gonna like
we'll let you get to it, and as soon as you get to it, we're walking away.
Yeah, we can't do nothing.
Get back to Mobius. He's driving, and it's just like, so it's like a bumpy road. Like,
I wish it was a jet ski.
Got aboard. Wow. So
and then, Mason, she's like saying, so you're gonna betray the TVA? He goes, they betrayed me. What do you know?
He's like, yeah, I thought this whole time he thought we were the good guys.
Yeah. And then they had that speech of like the ends justify the means, which is, never really.
But here's the thing, though. If you knew for beyond a shadow of a doubt, you went back in time and had to snap a baby's neck, but it will save the universe. Trillions of lives would be saved. Would you go up to a baby's crib and snuff it out?
Yeah, like
If it's Thanos.
I know, right?
Yeah, but that's what Rhodey wanted to do.
He's like, yeah.
He's like, just go back to baby and just kill him. I'm like, well, yeah, but that's...
Baby killing them. But then you get addicted to it.
Yeah, right.
That's how killing babies. But like, could you do that?
I don't know.
But you have to trust the person telling you that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, no, you don't know.
But that's what...
If you're not part of that timeline, how would you know? TVA's, they're away from all that.
So Mobius is basically like, well, yeah. He's like, what are you going to do? Well, I do what I had to do to survive. He's like, so did I.
Yeah.
So, sucks.
Yeah.
We both got screwed. The TVA screwed us both.
Yeah.
But I do like the fact that he's willing to, I'm going to help you.
Yeah, he's willing
to
admit.
I trust the Loki I was working with, and I kind of trust you.
Yeah, and then there's that touchy moment where she's like, well, I know he's not alive, whatever, and everything. He's like, and then Morbius is like, oh yeah, of course he's alive. Like, he made it.
Yeah,
like,
they're survivors. That's what you guys
are. And then
are.
she gets the idea, okay, turn the car around.
We have to go fight this thing.
Fight this thing. He's like, what?
He's like, well, I guess. So yeah, our happy trio of Lokis are kind of making their way there, and they see a battleship get brought there,
like a World War II one.
And they're like, oh, here it is, and like, okay, it's gonna attack this ship, and like any animal, it's gonna attack a big target, and then we'll sneak around and we'll get it from behind or whatever. And then
that thing's massive.
This battleship starts does nothing.
Nothing.
Eats that battleship in seconds, and then our Loki's like, maybe not. It's like,
that didn't work out. How can you get around it? It's so big.
And it's not like flesh. It's like a
cloud. Yeah.
It has like a face.
Yeah, that's about it.
But like, it's not corporeal. Like, it doesn't have a form. Maybe in its center.
I know it's not pure energy, but it's the closest thing. It's a gaseous.
Yeah.
creature. How do you fight that?
So they're like, well, maybe you gotta rethink this plan. But then you see headlights like a car. And Kid Loki's like, well, that can mean one or two things. The pirates or cannibals or cannibal pirates.
Yeah, something horrible.
But he's like, oh, it's slowing down. And then he sees Sylvie get out, and then he runs up to his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he's just I'm surprised he just jump into her arms, and she just carries him like in freaking Officer and Gentleman. So he runs up there all titillated. It's a little much. And you're alive, and they're just happy to see each other. And then Mobius comes out, and he's happy to see Mobius too.
I was like, I thought you needed backup.
We came here to give you a backup. And she's like, well, so what was your plan? Well, I was gonna fight it. He's like, that was it. That was your plan. Just fight it.
Fight it.
He's like, well, what was your plan? Oh, I'm gonna enchant it. Boo! They all kind of laugh. And I'm just like, when I was running from it, it touched me and I saw something. So that was that weird vision in the beginning.
Which is like, it showed something, so maybe there's something beyond this.
Yeah, there has to be something beyond that gaseous veil of the end of time.
Yeah.
The void, basically. Mm-hmm. So she's like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get to it and stop it. Then they're like, oh, okay, then she sees the other Lokis. She's like, no, don't worry about them. They're us. Yeah. That's us old. That's us a kid, and that's us an alligator. She's like, what? Don't worry about it. Don't think about it.
Don't question the alligator.
Don't overthink it. It's just what it is.
So, like, yeah, so they start to like, okay, let's, if this is the plan, and you believe you can do it,
let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah. There are some other Easter eggs. I remember someone was saying that Yellow Jacket's helmet was there. Because remember when he got all small and crushed, he ended up here.
Oh, wow.
So did the quantum realm is connected to this place?
Well, the quantum realm connects to everything in the universe, so maybe.
Yeah.
So, like, you saw his helmet was, like, in the background. You saw little Thor, the frog Thor.
Yeah, that was when they're going underground. Yeah, you can see it.
With the Thanos
The Thanos helicopter. There's tons of little things like that. So, how is the quantum realm connected to the TVA, connected to the end of time? There's all these things are just...
Well, the TVA looks like it's a front for this.
Yeah, like it's just a mask.
A mask of what this is going on here is the real stuff.
Yeah.
So, we get back to the TVA, and then the stupid judge lady's
always
walking.
Something. What's this
I'm thinking, what's up with her? Where's she going? We see the other lady, the one that helped Sylvie. Remember the one that she
yeah, it's a secret prison, like a secret cell.
It's like in the judge room.
Yeah.
And she's like, why am I here? She's like, why haven't you pruned me, basically? Oh, well, you betrayed the TVA. Do you think you're going to get away with that? She's like, betray the TVA. They betrayed us.
Yeah. We're not even from them.
And he goes, you were in that room. There's no timekeepers. Yeah. There's nothing. What are you even fighting for?
Yeah, they're robots.
And in this scene, she's asking questions, but like, does she want to know the answers, or does she already know the answers? She wants to know how much she knows.
I don't know.
Because there was a word part where she's like, what's her plan? You know her plan. She talked to you.
Her plan is she wants to kill the timekeeper. She wants to go whoever's in charge of this and to finish him.
And talk to him. Get to the man behind the curtain and talk to him. But then she's like, I want to find out too. Is she being sincere?
I think it's 50-50. There's a toss-up that she doesn't like attack them or just wants to know.
I think the best line she goes, the difference is you want to do this. She needs to do this.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah. And she's going to get there and she's going to get it done.
Done before you can do anything about it. And then she's like, oh, I got to warn them. But how are you going to warn who? How about what?
She calls up the little Miss Minutes. I need everything about the end of time. And she's like, oh, I don't know. It's a taller. She's like, you have to work fast because whoever's doing all this, who built this, they're in danger, and I need to warn them. So she's going to go like, oh, right away, ma'am. But is she there to warn them, or does she want to take it over?
I think she wants to take it over. I think she's going to do the whole power play.
Yeah, she's going to get there and try to stand on top of all the rubble. It's mine now.
Yeah.
Weird.
I know it sounds weird. What if she's a variant?
She's a Loki.
Yeah.
You think?
That would be funny. Like she's the ultimate Loki.
And she's been playing this long game. Maybe that's why she had the other Loki taken away, because she knew that she was going to be able to do something about her.
And then tell her that she was a Loki.
Maybe. That's a good
point. And then also, again, there's a part that comes up here where Mobius tells and says, oh, yeah, playing the long con. That's also a Loki thing, too. Which, that could be her.
So, yeah. So, they're just, like, waiting in some burned out building. They have a little fire going. And he's like, Mobius is like, it's so funny because the way his rationale makes sense. He's like, but what about that alligator? How is that really a Loki? What if he's faking it? He's lying. But what if it's that long con to get you guys over? But that'd be the most Loki thing to do. It's so stupid. It's just,
you're overthinking it. Just don't worry about it.
But he's green. Well, yeah, alligators are green.
But that's a Loki color, though. Yeah, green's a Loki color. Then, like, I'm wondering what they're talking about out there. Then we get...
This is the scene that's kind of bad as the first part of this episode.
So, Sylvie and Loki are sitting out there, and they're basically talking about the plan, like, you enchant this thing, what are you going to do then? Well, this is like a big guard dog. It's just protecting what's behind. Yeah. And we get to where this thing leads to, then we can find the real answers. Because I touched it, I know I can do it. It's like, well, I don't know if that's going to be possible, but, I trust you. Then it's like that whole, like, you're amazing and all that kind of talk,
Yeah. And then there's like that one moment where he's like, well, I betrayed a lot of people in my life, but I'm not going to betray you.
And then he goes, yeah, remember that pruning incident on that one planet? I'm like, here we go.
Oh, our Nexus event, that thing they told us about us. Oh, that was just a bunch of stupid. Yeah, they're just trying to trick us. Yeah, that's so weird. That's just strange. Like, us loving each other. That's just weird, right? Yeah, that's weird. I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah, it's happening. I mean...
This episode should have came with the bar of soap and a shower.
It went from like 25, now 50, now it's almost like
it's
70,
like a 99% fact that you're in fact in love with each other. You fell in love with your twin sister. It's gross. Oh, it's getting a little cold out here.
And Loki would do, but it still doesn't make it right.
No,
that's the thing. It doesn't make it right at all. That's a Loki thing still.
And like you said, I know they're aliens. I know they're not like our species, but still,
gross.
It's gross.
Gross.
It's gross.
So it's chilly out there, so he makes like a little cloak for him. He's like, I can make one for you. Then she's like, oh, can you make me a whole new outfit? This thing is like so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Then, they're just kind of like talking and everything. And then that's when they talk about like, I'm never going to abandon you. I trust you. Then like he makes the cloak bigger so they can like snuggle up together.
Yeah.
Thank goodness I brought this blanket with me.
He did the yawn and stretch. So, in my mind, please let there something happen to where she's not an actual Loki.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I would prefer
She's
that.
really like an variant of the Enchantress.
It could be.
So they're not blood related in any way.
Well,
then they can fornicate across all time and everything, and I wouldn't care. Right now, it's gross to me because it's like your twin sister.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they literally have the same DNA.
Same DNA.
They're gonna have mutant babies.
Like 100% DNA.
Yeah.
Like,
unbelievably.
Well, they're the same. Basically, maybe one difference, but that's it.
So they get their snuggle wuggle woohoos, and it's gross and weird. And they kind of even lean in, like certain times, like, oh my god, are they gonna kiss?
Yeah, I know.
But we see a bunch of these weird looking like alien. I want to say they're a mix between little chocobos and freaking dodo birds. Like they have little weird balls.
No, like, it's weird.
Like,
Because at first we saw them at first. I go, are those dodo birds? Because they were extinct, but no, it's actually some alien birds.
Or maybe these are just the birds that made it to the end of time.
Maybe
they're just native to the end of time.
Could be.
So they all make it their way there, and it's cool to see all the Lokis like standing together, and they're like, okay, because she has the telepath thing. She gives it to Loki. Hey, you can go now. I'm gonna go do what I gotta do. He's like, no, I'm staying here with you. Then they hand the pad off to Mobius. Mobius like, okay, other Lokis, you guys want out?
Yeah.
No, this is our home. We're gonna stay here. So like they're all standing together, which is cool. And I do like the fact that the young Loki goes, hey, you're gonna need a weapon. He gives him his like sword.
Yeah, long sword.
So it's like it's not quite a dagger. It's not quite a sword. It's like a short sword.
Yeah, it's pretty big though.
It's more heroic than a dagger. I feel like he's like official. Like here, you're a hero.
And they ask, what are you gonna do, Morris? And go back. Well, I'm burning the TVA down to the ground. I'm gonna do what I can to destroy this thing. It's ridiculous.
Well, the only thing I really wished is he like made himself like a little scabbard. Why didn't he give himself a cool Loki outfit?
He should have.
He's still wearing a dress shirt and a tie.
I know.
Well, he said he does like that.
But what I do like about this though is before Mobius leaves, and he's like, for everything, Loki, I hope you find what you're looking for. He goes for a handshake and Mobius gives him a hug. And he's like, my friend and everything. Oh, I love it.
It's like, yeah, you're my only friend. And he's like, yeah, you're my favorite.
Yeah, and he looks over at Sylvie, he's like, you're my favorite. And he's like looking at her, like, at him. It's so funny. I love these two together. I hope Mobius, gets into a fight. What's her face? And knocks the crap out of her. Oh, yeah. I hate that stupid.
Or even getting pruned right next to that dang dragon.
And you deal with this.
I know exactly. I think the thing also too. I think that'd be great, Native. But is I'm hoping Morbius is in more movies or is in more stuff. I like this character. I don't want it to be the end for him. You know what I mean?
Because if there is still a TVA, I think he could run it and be fair.
Yeah. It would be interesting, but again, though, where are you going to put all these people?
But again, I don't think he won't take it on blind faith. Oh, we got to prune this, prune that. He's going to want to know why.
Yeah, maybe
he's going to want to know a reason.
Maybe it can be averted and maybe changed a little bit.
But maybe in the movie with Doctor Strange, that could be.
But maybe there was a temporal war. Maybe there was a timelines where trillions were being killed, and this was the only way.
We'll probably find out next episode.
But so the Mobius leaves, goes back to TVA, and they're standing on the prefaces of this giant monster, and the other two Lokis, good luck. They walk off, and they look back and they see it, and they're like, hope they can get this done. But Sylvie and Loki are starting to see this cloud form, and this thing is huge. This thing is ginormous.
It's like miles long, dude.
And this makes freaking Godzilla look like an ant. This thing is huge.
Yeah, it is.
And then they're like, well, we have to distract it. We need a distraction. And then...
So Loki tries to do a distraction, gets a fire sword.
Basically like a T-Rex thing with the thing, hey, come attack me. And then it starts coming out of him. What their plan is, as it goes away, she's going to grab like a back end of it and try to enchant it. So she starts to try to do that. But then it turns and looks at her, and it's going to come back for her. And she's like, oh, God, no.
So he's running.
Loki's running over there. It's about to chomp down on her. But then we see a big green light. We're like, what's this?
And it looks just like Asgard.
It's like he built, old man Loki built the whole entire Asgard.
That's an illusion to go.
The whole city.
Yeah.
And we know from the thing eating the battleship that it's going to go after the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So it's going after the big giant Asgard. And they're like, how the hell did he do that?
And then our Loki says, well, we obviously are much more powerful than we realize.
Than we think.
And look at this guy. Look at what he's doing.
And also, to add a little sad factor, because he was on a planet by himself, he probably made a whole Asgard to pretend.
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
Get to go home.
Yeah. Even though it wasn't real.
Oh, this is so sad.
Yeah, it was.
Man, he's a badass.
Yeah, I know,
oh,
but he's strong.
So they grab each other's hands because they're in love, and they're gonna take on this thing, and they're going to enchant it together.
Yeah, remember I taught you how to do this?
And he's like, I can't do this. I guess you can. It's in you. We're Lokis.
We can
do this. So they're with our powers combined. So they're gonna go after this thing. It's starting to attack the city, but it's like
just falling right through it. And he's like,
attacks another tower, but he keeps rebuilding everything. But it's starting to take a toll on him. They grab onto it. They're starting to do their enchanting thing.
It's taking so long.
The illusion starts to fall, and he's on his knees, and then it sees him. And like a true Loki, he ain't gonna die on his knees. He ain't no punk bitch.
He gets up, he starts laughing.
He starts charging up. He's like,
he's laughing in glorious purpose.
That's what it is, baby.
And then he takes him like, that sucks. I love that. I love that Loki too.
I did love the laugh. That is one way Loki always
like
has
a man.
to go.
That's how you go out. Stand up to this thing that's the end of time. Be a man.
Yeah, be a man.
You know what it reminded me a lot of too? Remember at the end of Moana when what's his face? Maui was like, come get me.
Yeah, he had no powers,
no weapons.
And he's just doing his war chant.
Yeah.
And he's like, come on.
He's going to just get him.
Get him.
I know you're the size of a mountain, but come and get me.
Yeah, but this is like, let's get to the final end of everything. Like, you're almost there. I mean, that's like pretty close.
But that's what you do. You don't cower.
Yeah.
I also, again, there's so many like that hero's last stands, and you see his helmet hit the ground. He's gone. He's been devoured.
Jeez.
To Valhalla, my friend.
Exactly. I almost wish he would have said something like that, like, I'm Loki, Odin's son, like king of Asgard.
But it almost seems so poetic that he was laughing, though. That's what makes it Loki.
Yeah.
But then they start enchanting it,
and it starts going towards them.
And right before it gets him, goes green. Did it. They freaking got him.
Yeah, it turned him green completely.
And Sylvie's like, Loki, open your eyes. They see it, and cloud opens up.
There's a castle.
Like a manor, a castle beyond the clouds, and end of the episode.
Bam!
And they start walking towards it.
So from what I know, people have said in the comics that this is a place where the beginning and the end of time live together. Like they're people.
Like the Odd Couple.
They're like literally like one's red and one's blue, and they're just like, and all they do is bicker and argue about things.
Because one's the beginning, one's the end. How can you have a?
Yeah. And then also the one above all.
Who's the most powerful? The most powerful entity of all.
Yeah, like the creation of all creations. So Stan Lee.
Yeah, basically. That's what he looks like, too.
Yeah, it's so silly. But, so yeah, there you go. We have one more episode, and I don't know.
So far, really good episode. Another 8.5. Just take out the stupid
I want to bang my sister.
Yeah, take that out. You got a 10. But
yeah, like I said, maybe like I said, maybe they'll change it, or maybe they won't. Maybe they won't be together, and that's just.
I'd rather them just be like friends, and they could be like a superhero team. Give me that. I don't want it to be like some.
How come when you said friends, you kept winking at me?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I keep doing that. No, I'm not winking.
Well, friends, a little eyebrow move.
Yeah,
friends.
That's it. Little friends, no.
But yeah,
friends you can't depend on. Oh yeah.
Then they keep looking at each other. Like you keep giving each other like looks, and everyone's like, "You guys are gross."
I know, right? That would be so bad.
But yeah, I don't know where this goes from here, and we have one more episode and one more day, and
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good finish, I think.
It's gonna be because this is gonna have implications for everything.
Yeah.
Because what if they do this, and like, are you gonna accept the responsibility of what you're doing? Because as soon as you stop this timekeeper thing and the pruning and everything, you're gonna start up this temporal war again.
Yep.
And that's it. But again, we do have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, so that has to tie in with this. It has to.
It has to. So we don't. So the thing about it, I would hope in the Multiverse of Madness here, Doctor Strange, Loki, freaking Scarlet Witch, Sylvie, everyone just freaking just going crazy.
And Shang-Chi.
Yeah. Don't even get me
I'm gonna punch it.
But here's the thing though, because the Alpha will say, look, you're gonna cause chaos. The Omega's gonna say you're gonna cause chaos because they could be any time. That's the thing. They know all time, so they're going to know what's going to happen. So maybe this is supposed to happen, too.
This whole time, maybe, this thing, like, you think you defeated anything, we needed this to happen.
Yeah, it needed to happen, because you guys have to, maybe we're dying, maybe we're old, we don't want to do this anymore.
Or they're going to leave it up to mortals to figure out their own
But here's the funny thing. This is something that should have happened in, like, 5 or 6 years to reset the timeline. And you can start all over from the beginning.
Yeah, they could have.
And then literally start over with the new Captain America, a different actor for Iron Man.
Because basically, I think when they do that, my feeling won't be until the 2030s, and when they're going to reset everything.
Yeah, because they still had things like She-Hulk and Miss Marvel coming out. And you have
X-Men still.
Because that would be a perfect way to reset the world, and that's what brings in the X-Men.
Yeah.
And you can have an MCU with the X-Men already in it.
And then, and you can just explain, well, all the timelines are separate, but then we bashed them together and created a new one.
Because, these 3 timelines were dying, so we just wove them together.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But I don't know. We'll find out. We one day when we get the next episode.
Yeah,
so
we do.
This will probably post, and then the last one will post a couple days later, just so I can get them both out.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. Crimson's in here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, you can contact us on any of the social media platforms in the description down below. And while you're here, be sure to click on one of the videos over on the right.